Hey friends, Kelly here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am working on my gratitude documented mini album. And to start off, I have some photos here that I printed, and I just wanted to share real quickly how it is that I am going to be printing my photos and what I'm going to be using for my supplies in case that's something you're interested in. So let me bring you over to my desktop, my computer, and I will just real quickly show you what it is I'm doing. So all I'm going to do is open up a new file in Photoshop. I'm just using an 8.5 by 11 canvas, and then I'm basically just going to use the frame tool. I'm going to resize these to 2.5 by 3 inches, and then I am going to duplicate this, and I have a Mac, so I'm just going to hold down Option and then drag a couple out. I just want to fit as many as I can basically on this one sheet of paper. I'm imagining this as a sheet of paper because that's what it'll be when I print it. So I'm going to go ahead and be able to fit 8 of the 2.5 by 3 inch photos. And then because I have this extra space down here, I'm going to go ahead and add in some 2 by 2 inch photos. So just resizing this, and that's it. I'm not going to do anything overly complicated. I'm not going to actually spend much time editing these photos or really worrying about it too much. And so I'm going to go ahead and get that done. And then I'm just simply going to drag and drop. So just placing the photos in, and then I'm just going to nudge them over a little bit, kind of center them where I want them to be. And that's pretty much it. So I'll just get all of these dropped in real quick. And then I'm just going to go ahead and print it directly from Photoshop. And I'm doing that again on the Canon matte photo paper. I love that paper. I think it's excellent. And some people have asked me what printer I use. I use the HP Envy Inspire 7200 series, and I also am a subscriber to the HP Instant Ink. I think it's a fantastic deal. If you're printing a ton, you really can't go wrong. There's nothing better than knowing you never will run out of ink. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is work on my inside of my cover and the inside of the back cover. That's not the right way to say it. The back. And I've chosen this paper that says things on it like blessed, grateful. I can't remember. I think it was from maybe the Pebbles. You know what? I'm not even going to bother trying to remember what collection it's from. I just liked it. And then I went ahead and covered the back side. Or the back cover. Is that the right way to say it? I think that's the right way to say it. Okay, moving on. I've got all these pattern papers that I print, digital papers that I've printed. One of them here, I've realized I printed on 32 pound instead of that Canon matte photo paper, so I will definitely be backing that. After I got done working on this project on that day, I went ahead and cut all my papers down so that I don't have to do this every time I sit down to work on the project. So I'm ready to go. I started working smarter, not harder. But for this one, I've chosen this really pretty paper. I believe this is out of the Heidi Swapp Honey and Spice collection. Again, I have that digitally. And I was like amazed at how well the colors fit the photo. The photo is just a quick photo that I snapped from my backyard when the sun was setting, and it was absolutely beautiful. So I'm just trying to figure out, do I want to back the photo? What exactly am I doing here? And already this album is stumping me. And I also remembered I had an idea for the back side, or the left side of the spread. I kind of have this idea, and I got it from, let me look for her name real quick. It is on Instagram, she's at My Redeemed Soul. Her name is Lauren Norris. I'll link her Instagram account below, but I had seen in her, I believe it's her gratitude documented album, or it's some project she's currently working on, where she had used these large numbers on the left side of her project. And I really love the cleanness of it. And so I'm totally duplicating what she's doing and taking inspiration directly from her, if not just straight up copying her. And that's what I'm going to end up doing. So what I also decided was I needed to print a whole bunch more background papers. So I'll get to that in just a second. But I left this in here because I wanted to remember to talk about this. I also went into my digital journal cards from In a Creative Bubble. And these are actually ones I think that were in one of the classic holiday sets, but it said filled with gratitude. And I thought I might as well print a whole bunch of those because I might end up using them in the album. So I print a few, the actual size of the album, which are the, I'm going with 5x4, I think it is. And those little 2x2 photos that I printed fit perfectly on them. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to print some more of those. But then I just have a whole stack of them here, and they're roughly, I think they're 3x4, based on, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're 3x4. So I'm not sure how many of these are actually going to make it in the album, and maybe one or two will go on the tag flip. I'm not sure. But what I thought might be interesting is to just have a stack of them ready to go so that I can even just jot down quick notes on what it is that I have these photos printed for. Or sometimes maybe I'm not going to put a photo in. Maybe I'm just going to put just a little journaling, a little memory. So I've decided to go ahead and print myself a whole little stack of these. Since this video, I cut all of those. I have them ready to go. And I've actually used quite a few of them to document my thought on why I printed some of those photos. Okay, so back to the process here. I, again, was really just kind of struggling here with this first page. This jumping off point, I feel like, is always a little difficult. And I thought about backing the photo, but I just was really struggling with this idea. And so what I'm going to end up doing is reaching for a tool that's going to distress the edges. So I even grabbed these little 3x4 cards that came with the kit. I don't know what I'm going to use those for. Those might actually go into my December daily kit because I think that will fit better. But again, I've grabbed this distressing tool. This one is an old one I have from Close to My Heart, but I think Tim Holtz has something similar. I'm sure there's plenty of distressing tools you can find out there, but you could always use a scissors, or like even you'll see in this video I have this little pair of pink scissors. There's like a cap that goes on it. I've used that sometimes. There's like a slot in it that you can run along paper. So just look around on your desk and find something. Just distress the edges. It's great. Use your fingernail. Use the sides of your jeans. I don't know. You'll find something. Okay, so I've got the edges distressed, and that gave me just enough texture so that it's not just this square piece sitting on this paper. And then I want to embellish it, so I'm going to grab this really cute little acorn, oak leaves, and I've decided to do a label. And so what I'm going to do is put a little bit of journaling on it, and then I'm going to just put it at the bottom of the page. I'm going to end up trimming part of it off. But as I was getting ready to stick it down, I decided to leave just a little bit of white space. So I'm going to come back to that in just a moment, and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. But first, I want to put down this little oak leaf acorn embellishment. And I stopped myself because I realized I am working in an album that I can use some dimension. I'm really digging using dimension in these two projects, this tag flip and this mini album. I just really enjoy making anything that I can pop things up and add that extra element. It's been really, really fun to play with this again. I haven't used this technique since probably last Christmas when I worked on some tags. So again, I just keep this little bag of leftover craft foam from other projects, things my kids have made. I had like some foam stickers for one of my kids' projects, and I just kept all of those little bits. I kept keeping this bag. I'm telling you what, this stuff is going to last me forever because you see how little I will use. So I've backed this whole thing. I ended up needing to add an extra little piece to the corner here of this leaf. And then I'm trying to trim it off. These scissors are garbage. They are not sharp. And my other ones are currently MIA. So I need to go on a little hunt to figure out where my other better little scissors are. But it's what I have. So I've trimmed that off. And then I also took the scissors and came in. There was a little bit of glue sticking out and a few little bits of paper. Doesn't seem like my silhouette and I are on the same page right now with how we're cutting things. So I'm having to do a lot more work on that. Okay, so now you can see I'm kind of looking at the bottom and I want to address that. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out these stamps. So these are 2 sets of curated stamp sets that I have put together for this fall, for all my fall projects. And it's basically, I spent maybe, I don't know, less than an hour going through and pulling out just tons of stamps off of different stamp sets that I want to be using. So that's a great way to utilize your stamps that are just sitting away, curate your own kit. I also remembered that I just got some brand new ink cubes from the stamp market. I have been doing some prep work for December Daily, and I've got some new colors for that. And I thought, oh yeah, that's right. I just ordered some new greens, which would go perfectly in this. And I have a new pink, and it's the salmon color from the stamp market. And I love this color. It's exactly what I was looking for. It's just the right amount of pink. It's just the right amount of warmth. And it is absolutely perfect. So I've gone ahead and I've added this little tiny, I don't know what to call this. It's not a squiggle, whatever, this little tiny mark, a mark. We're going to call it a mark. So I've added that to this page, and that's pretty much it. I went to punch the holes, and then I thought, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make it through that acorn because it's, of course, in just the right spot. So I pulled out my retro vintage hole puncher and popped right through it like butter. So that page is all done. So now I want to address the other side. And like I said, I am going to use this idea of putting these numbers down on the other side. And so I have printed out a ton of the same pattern paper. So there's two different sides to it. It's very simple, but that's what I'm going to use for the left side. I'm just going to alternate back and forth between this kind of ledger style, and then the other side is just basically almost like a white and pink pinstripe, I think is the right, or just a stripe. So that is what I'm going to do for some continuity in this project. So I was looking at this and thinking, okay, am I going to use the other side to put something on, and decided, nope, I'm always going to end up backing it. So I've pulled out my little felt mat. This is such a great way to make sure you get a nice clean impression on stamping. So if you have any trouble with stamping and getting a good clean image, grab yourself some sort of felt or something soft that you can impress into, like a mouse pad. But honestly, just a rolled up piece of felt is perfect. Definitely something to keep in your toolbox. So I'm really liking how this little page has turned out, and now I want to address the other side. So I've realized I'm, again, just going to go ahead and back it with a different paper, and this is going to be my cover page. So I had said in my setup video that I didn't date the cover because I'm not really sure how far I'm going to go into this year of documenting gratitude. I don't know if I'm going to do every day of November or something for every day of November. It's not necessarily daily, but maybe I'll capture 30 items. Maybe I'll do 15. I don't know. So to address the fact that I still want to have some sort of date, I decided I'm going to go ahead and create some sort of cover page. I pulled out those puffy stickers and once again reminded myself that there are not enough twos. So then I go searching for some other solution. I pulled all the stickers out that I have print and cut and that came with the kit. I thought about printing extra numbers of these little stickers here, but that seemed like a lot of work. So I decided I'm going to go to stamps. Always going to go with the good old trusty stamp. So you can see me kind of moving around my desk, kind of going, which way am I going here? And I ended up going through my stamp sets and pulling out quite a few actually. And I'm going to create my own little version that's going to say Gratitude Documented 2022. So sorry about my head, but it's just going to be there. I'm not going to apologize for that again because you'll see it a lot. But I want to make sure I get these relatively straight. And again, one of those stamp sets that I have just pulled all my favorite fall stamps that I want to use and curated them. I think there might be a video about that. And if there is, I will link it because I know I made a video a long time ago. I also did something recently, but I can't remember where I shared it. So if I have another one, I might throw together a quick little tutorial if that's something you're interested in. It's just a great way, like I said, to use up all those stamps. Not use up, I guess you're not using them up, but to use the stamps that you have that are just kind of maybe sitting in a set that you don't gravitate to very much, especially if it's a themed set. Like I have a ton that are coffee themed, camping themed, but there might be something in there, an icon, a word that I know I will use. So I'm telling you what, just break up your sets. I don't throw anything away. I don't get rid of them. I keep them where they are. And someday if I go put them all back where they belonged, it'll just be it'll be a fun adventure. It'll be a game of figuring out where those stamps came from. Okay, so I'm going in and I'm putting in the 2022, And I really wanted everything to kind of line up in a column. So I put the 2 on the front and the back end, and then I kind of worked my way into the middle. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think this is pretty cute. I'm just going to go with it. I thought about trimming around the edges. There's like a little bit of a white border. And then I decided, nah, not going to worry about it. Thought about putting some cute little ephemera on there. I pull out this little squirrel. I pull out a pumpkin. I pull out, I don't know what else I pull out. I start pulling out things. And I was really just struggling because it felt like it'd be off balance if I have something just kind of hanging off on the side there. I think what's going to end up happening is that this album's going to be very simplified and there's going to be a lot of things centered because that appeals to me. It's clean. It's nice. I might go crazy. I might end up adding a whole bunch of embellishments to a page, but I think a lot of things are just going to end up going smack dab in the middle, which I'm okay with. You can see I pulled out those gratitude documented page flags. I don't know what I'm going to use those for. I also pulled out a little piece of like twill fabric and thought about attaching that up to the side. And then I started pulling some stuff out of my desk. And I go a little crazy because what I'm looking for is like a puffy heart or some other little embellishment that I could use. So I pulled out these hearts and I thought, ooh, these are going to be great. I'll add these. And then I thought, nah, you know what? They're kind of shiny. I don't love that. So I go and find some more stuff. This is where shopping your stash becomes super exciting because if you have a lot of stuff, you've probably forgotten what you have. So this was kind of fun. I started poking through and I thought, ooh, I've got some letter sticker or phrase stickers. What's in here? I had some stickers that I cut on my print and cut myself and created myself. And then I have tons of stuff left over from Citrus Twist kits that I used to subscribe to. And I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this. I really don't. But I went through it and I thought, ooh, maybe I could use some of these chipboards. I think what I figured out is I don't use chipboard things very often. I don't use a lot of those enamel dots. Maybe I either need to challenge myself to use it or I need to start putting some stuff together and giving it away to you guys because I just don't need it. But I found what I was looking for. I found my puffy heart stickers. I love these stickers so, so much. Actually, while I was pre-editing this video, before I started doing this part of it, I stopped everything I was doing when I pulled out all these puffy heart stickers and I went to look for more on Citrus Twist Kit's website because that's where these came from. And what I really, really wanted was like a sheet of them that's going to be Christmas colors, reds and greens and pinks and whites and polka dots and things like that. They don't have those. I looked. There's some black and white ones that are cute, but they don't have those. But man, I do love those puffy heart stickers. I'm going shopping in about a week or two, an annual craft shopping trip with some friends to a big craft store about an hour away, and I'm going to be on the hunt for puffy heart stickers. So, you know what? And I'm going to even say, if you have a resource for puffy heart stickers that are similar to that, would you please drop me a comment? Because I would love to have a resource for more puffy stickers. Okay, I'm going to be done talking about puffy stickers now. Okay, back to this page. So I've gone ahead and backed it, and you can see I kind of had to pull it off and put it back on. And, you know, I'll just trim the edges. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's kind of the beauty of a project with the little ring hole attacher things. I'm sure those have a better name than that. But things are a little loose, so it doesn't have to line up exactly perfect. I also have realized I'm probably going to punch those corners wrong a few times, but I'm okay with it. So there we go. Page 1 done. Now, moving on to page 2. I've got, my cover page, page 1, page 2 is coming up, and again, it's going to end up being pretty simple. So, like I said, I'm going to use this number idea to continue to move forward, but I'm going to alternate back and forth. Maybe I won't alternate exactly the pattern every time, but I'm going to just use these 2 different patterns to signify the left side page where I'm going to end up putting the number. So, I really like that I'm going to have that, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistency. Gosh, wow. I've been saying in my last couple of videos that I've been sick. I'm almost there. I'm like 90% better, but man, I'll tell you what, by midday, my brain is just mush. And it was a full work day today, and I was catching up on so much stuff. It felt good to get it done, but I think my brain is cashing out. So bear with me, friends. And you know what? Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for crafting with me. And while I'm at it, if you like this video, my craziness, if you keep coming back, I would love for you to be giving me a thumbs up. That really does help me know that people are here and you care and you're, you know, laughing along with me. Okay, so here we go. I've got the number 2 down and I'm going to start working on the right side of this page. So this story is about my best friend. I was sick last week, and actually this phone call happened on, was it even November yet? Yeah, you know what? I think it was. I think it was the 1st of November. She ended up giving me a call, and again, I was just not feeling very good, but it is exactly what I needed. We ended up chatting for about an hour, and we had the best talk. We laughed so much. We talked about all of our, it was in November, because we talked about Halloween and all the shenanigans that happened with our kids and our families and all the things we'd done over the weekend. And, you know, then we just started talking about the silliest things. There's nothing better than having a friend that you can talk to an hour-long conversation and you never run out of stuff to talk about. We never, ever run out of things to talk about. And it's so wonderful. And it's such, she's such a blessing in that we have so much in common, yet we have so much we're different. So I just really wanted to capture how much that meant to me. So what I ended up doing was taking a screenshot of our call, and it just notes, it says like 56 minutes on the top. And that's really what I wanted to remember, is that we had this long phone call. So what you just saw was that I opened up that Maggie Holmes, I think it's Heritage packet of like these little envelopes and pockets. Yeah. Those are so cute. I can't believe I haven't opened them up yet. I love them. They're so adorable. I'm really excited to use those in this project. So I've pulled out a little pocket, and then I'm just going to go ahead and put this photo down. I'm going to back it, and I left just the smallest hint of a border around it just to give it a little bit of interest, so it wasn't just this plain black thing going into this little pocket, but it didn't quite fit. So I had to ditch that idea, which was fine. I also, when I was looking through those little pockets, I realized they're super simple to make. There really isn't much to them. So it kind of gave me an idea that I might have to make some of those for December Daily as well. It's kind of like a library pocket, I suppose. The other thing that I did here was I backed this photo with the same print, the same paper, goodness gracious, that I used for the first page, so that I could just be using some of that up. So I've got this slipped in, and I cut off the top because it was a little too long. And right before I did that, I thought about folding it over and then making it interactive so you'd open it up and pull the little picture out, but I'm going to save that idea for another time. So back to these flags. I'm really not sure how I'm going to use those, but I thought, I could make some sort of like little tag to pull out the photo. So I went to it, and then I didn't want to put it on top of it. And then I put it away. And then I pulled it back out and thought, okay, I can stick it in between the paper, but it didn't really feel like it was the right color, and it wasn't the right. What I didn't really like about it was the white border around it. So then instead, I'm going to grab some washi tape and just fold that in half. And I was pretty impressed with myself because I folded it in half and it actually was lined up. I was really shocked that even happened. But I'm going to go ahead and trim it off, and then I'm just going to stick it right in between the photo and the backing paper. And I'm going to staple it, because that just seems like the easiest way to do it. So I go ahead and I put the staple through here, and then I flipped it over, and I went, oh, well, that's kind of ugly. And I hadn't really decided yet which side was going to be the front, so to speak. So I grab my puffy stickers, and then I remembered these teeny little ones, which are super cute. And I think I got these at that craft store I went shopping at last year. Of course, now I'm thinking, ooh, maybe I have to get another pack. But no, I don't, because look, I've only used one, and now two. Because I'm going to go ahead and use one of those to cover up this staple. And that just will, basically cover up the staple. And it's just a cute little element. So no matter which side this goes in, I think it'll be cute. I really like it that way with the little heart in the front. But I want to remember why this is even in here. So I am going to probably leave it on the side with the little, it's a photo, but it's not a photo. Okay, so next I'm going to pull out this Dymo label maker, embossing label maker. I forgot how to use it, so it took me a few minutes. This thing confuses me every time, and then I usually end up messing it up, cutting a piece off, but ultimately I'll get there. As I was pressing, embossing, labeling out this phrase, I forgot how to spell grateful, so I had to stop and go look it up because, again, I don't know why, I just couldn't figure it out. Like, is there an E? Is there not an E? Yes, there's an E in grateful. So I have gone ahead and just spelled out "so grateful for you." So I'm going to go ahead and cut that apart into smaller strips and then just line it up on the left side all the way down. And I'll tell you what, pulling the stickers off the back of this, the backing, was so tedious. I have no fingernails whatsoever, so it was nearly impossible. And I have to tell you, I have this sped up like 400, 500%. So you have to imagine it took me like 2-3 minutes to get these all off. And I could have edited it out, but I didn't. So there you go. All right, so now I've got that completely done. And the last thing I need to do really on this page, or this little photo, is some journaling. So I remembered that I had these labels from the scriptures from the toolbox that I have printed out. And I went to put one down and I thought, oh, that's going to cover up some of this. Let's do another little trim job. So I think that's going to be a go-to for me for this project. So I've just put down this sticker label, and again, I'm just going to do a quick little bit of journaling. I don't even know if this is journaling as more as captioning. So I don't know that there's going to be a great amount of journaling in this album. It's just not my style. I'm more of like a bullet point journaler. So that's what this is. So I've got that all done, and I'm really liking how this is turning out. Fun little page. And again, I'm going to end up centering it, but it needs something behind it. So I pull out my stickers and I go for this really large floral one. Again, I struggled a bit because my silhouette did not cut it perfectly. There's a little bit of me that's starting to think about getting a cricket instead, but I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy to learn something new. So I had it lined up and then I stuck it down in the wrong spot. I ended up making it so that most of it's covered up. And so I was, once again, not surprised at myself, but I decided I am going to go for it. I am going to try to pull this sticker up. And what's the worst thing that could happen? It would rip or wreck the paper. No big deal. It's digital paper. I'll print another one, or I probably won't. But I only managed to mess up the sticker a little bit, and it ends up getting covered. So it all works. And the sticker was salvageable. So this time I place it in a better spot. And then I had to, of course, fix this little leaf. It couldn't have come off in a spot that's getting covered up, but it's fine. As I've said multiple times, I do not strive for perfection, and this is definitely one of those times where I did not care. So that's done, and so now all I have to do is adhere this down, and that is pretty much it, my friends. I am pretty happy. I'll punch the holes and moving along. This little album is going to be a fun project because once I get going, it doesn't seem to take me a whole lot of time. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch off the corners. I'm going to put it back together, and then I'm going to do a little flip through so that we can take a look at how it's progressing. But yeah, I think this is going to be a project that I really enjoy working on. I'll try to continue to film process videos. We just ended daylight savings time, or yeah, is that the way you say it? So now it is 4:58 real time, and it is dark. So lighting could be a factor in my videoing in the next couple of months, but we'll do our best here. So here we go. This is my little mini gratitude documented album so far. I'm really pleased with it, and I love it. I really, really hope that this video gave you some inspiration and maybe a couple of chuckles, because I've been in rare form today because apparently I do feel more human. So thanks, friends, for coming along with me on this crafty little adventure of mine. And if you like what you are seeing, like I said, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. It really does mean something to me. And And comments. I really love it when you mention comments. You drop a comment and tell me what you're working on, ask me questions. I do love engaging with you guys, so thanks for that as well. So as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you like this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to go ahead and do that. And then finally, don't forget to hit that little bell so you're getting notified when new videos are posted. Because like I said, there's a whole lot more coming up. And just around the corner, we have December Daily, and I'm pretty pumped to be putting some content together for that as well. So thanks, friends, and I'll see you next time.